King Alcohol has many forms by which he catches men. He is a beast of many horns, and ever thus has been. For there's rum, and gin, and beer, and wine, and brandy of logwood hue, and hock, and port, and flip, combined to make a man look blue. He says be merry, for his good sherry, and Tom and Jerry, champagne and perry, and spirits of every hue. Oh, are not these a fiendish crew, as ever a mortal knew? Oh, are not these a fiendish crew?
How's it going, guys?
I'm doing good.
What's up, Jordan?
Doing good, man. I am downtown at a very, very, very new brewery to the scene.
Very new. 6 months, I believe.
April 1st.
April 1st.
Wow.
So
Really?
we are at Metazoa Brewing. It's Metazoa Brewing, right?
Company, yeah.
Brewing company. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, get it right.
You know, we have brew pubs and ale works, and there's all sorts of stuff out there, so I want
I
to make
know.
sure I say it right.
There's a bunch of different names, so.
Metazoa Brewing Company. We are here with Haley, and you are the marketing director here?
I am the partnership and events manager.
Partnership and events manager. Awesome. Okay. That works, too. First off, I got to say, Haley brought us out some flights. There's 8. You can get, when you come down here, you can get 4, 6, or 8 beers in a flight. And I don't know what the 4 and 6 beer flights look like, but the 8 beer flights are pretty sweet. They're all in different designs. I've got like a little bowling alley design going on over here. And
It's a pint glass.
Oh, it's a pint glass. See, I'm an asshole. I didn't realize it was a pint glass.
It's okay.
I know his is a lion, right?
Yep.
What-
And his is a bear.
His is a bear.
It's
okay.
just sideways right now.
That's kind of fitting for you there, Dougie Fresh.
Ah.
Got the big beard and then you got the whole bear look already.
I thought it was a continent at first, but now I see the bear.
It's okay. The first time I held it, I had it upside down. I thought it was an eagle, like the profile of an eagle, so it's fine.
Eagle.
So now, is every one of these different?
Yeah, our 4 flights are, you can be a cat if you want, or an eagle. And then the 6s, we did have rhinos, but those got stolen. It's very sad. I'm very upset. I love
Thieves.
rhinos. I know. And then the other 6s is a wolf.
So so basically your 6 ones are extinct.
We have some left, but a few of them did go extinct,
I
unfortunately.
had to pull on that one. That would have been better if I could actually get the words out properly.
So I'm assuming there's something that ties in with the animals here that you guys do.
Yes, we give 5% of all of our profits back to different wildlife and animal organizations.
That's great.
That's awesome. That's one thing I noticed on the website. I wanted to try it earlier. My wife and I came down. Unfortunately, we didn't make it here in time. They were closing. But I said, look, they give back to the animals. This place is awesome. It's got to be good. So anyway, then here we are tonight. So I finally get to try it. And
Yeah, we like to partner the great beer with a great cause.
exactly. There you go. And that's awesome. Anybody that's given back to something like that, wins in my book.
Absolutely.
You know, that tells us that the owners are really passionate, not only passionate about what they're doing, but they care
Absolutely.
about something else as well besides themselves, and that's
Plus, it makes
that's
the
awesome.
beer taste a little bit better.
It does? Yeah.
Yeah.
Knowing that you're giving back to
Yeah,
a good cause.
You're doing some
So the
care
last
yourself.
the last sip of every beer I take goes back to the animals,
Yep.
basically. That's awesome. See, that's good to know.
Yep.
And I'm already digging into my first one because I couldn't stare at these any longer without tasting them.
Me
And
too.
This is beer number 1,
Was that
which
the
is
Kinkajou?
Kinkajou.
Kinkajou.
So you want to tell us about this one?
Yeah, it's a honey vice, so it's made with honey malts. And a kinkajou is a small, cute little animal, if you didn't know. It's has a really long tongue, and its nickname is a honey bear, so that's why a honey vice, honey bear, kinkajou.
Okay. Yeah.
Nice.
We
Very
actually
nice.
had one in here, in the
Really?
brewery. Yes, a guy named Joel, who is the director of a group called Animalia. They do rescuing of both exotic and native animal species and rehab them or give them a place if they have been in a private home and been mistaken care of or something like that. And he does a lot of education outreach and everything, and he came out and had one, and it was so cute. It was like kept hiding in this little pouch that he had for it, and loved grapes and everything. It was really fun.
Nice.
That's awesome. So tell us a little bit
Sounds like
about Metazoa. I mean, as far as, what you guys do, what you got going on, that kind of thing.
Yeah, so the brewers really like to spice it up with the different beers and everything, and bring Indianapolis a lot of beers that are, the older style of beers that have been around for, hundreds of years and everything, and like to give that a little bit more of a spotlight in the beer community. And we have 7 house beers that we have on tap at all times, and then we have a bunch of different other rotating beers that we might have done on the big system, so that they we'll have more of them. And then we have other ones that we make on our little pilot system that are experimental or, just trying out new recipes. And we'll only have limited quantities of some of those. And then depending on how well they do, we might bring them back next year and they'll be on longer due to being on the big system and everything like that. So have a bunch of different types and everything. And then we also serve them on nitro as well as on cask. Not all of them, but some of the ones that, perform
Fit that
better.
profile.
Well, yeah.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something a lot of people have never heard of before. So that's really cool. We kind of get to educate people on, what a cask beer is. A lot of them haven't encountered that before. Or like what makes a nitro different than a regular CO2 draft. So that's really fun too. We like the educational, nerdy kind of side of the beer world.
We do
and
too.
the taste is wild. You get that nitro, and it's amazing how much it changes the flavor profile of that
it's
beer.
so creamy, and it's really cool to watch it cascade when you first pour it because it just kind of waves like that up.
And you can even go with the cask. A lot of people are afraid of that room temperature type of beer.
Yes.
They're
and
afraid
they're like,
of it. They're
carbonation, no carbonation, or very little. I don't know what to do with that. This beer is flat.
Yeah.
But it's not, so.
Yeah, exactly.
A lot of the beers that I think Jackaroo, one of our house beers, really shines a lot better on cask, honestly. Mm-hmm. I love it on CO2 as well, but a lot of the coffee and roasty flavors really play out in the cask.
And we do some stuff with Danny Boy up in Carmel too, and they have a couple beers. Their training day, and then they call it something else when they nitro it. I don't remember what it was called now, but it's almost like two completely different beers. Mm-hmm. Even though it's the exact same beer, one's just CO2'd and one's nitroed, it just gives it a whole different flavor profile. Yeah. Usually it's a milkier, creamier flavor, a little heavier, fuller bodied feeling to it. So if people don't like that fuller body, they may be a little freaked out by the nitro thing. But those of us that do, I like nitro in most cases. Yeah. For the right beer. I mean,
of course.
There's some beers I don't think I'd enjoy on nitro.
Some beers you shouldn't put on nitro, no.
Or some beers you probably shouldn't put in a cask either.
Yeah,
it might not taste too good. So far, so good. I think this one is really good. The Kinkajou now.
I can definitely taste the honey in that one.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Yeah, exactly. So do you guys have entertainment here as well? I know you do because you have the Robert Rolfe Feddersen band here tonight.
Yeah, we're doing live music every Thursdays right now. Just kind of dipping our toes into the live music scene here. And then we also occasionally have some on Saturdays. We've had a few country musicians from Nashville here on Saturdays that had also played in our opening night. So they come back every once in a while because they like playing here. And we're trying to mix it up a little bit and trying to find what our style is right now too. It's hard with live music. Is our crowd a country, folky? Are they more pop rock?
Mm-hmm.
So
just experiment for a while. Good idea.
And sometimes variety is the best way to go. Because me personally, I like a variety of music.
I do too.
I can sit through just about any set of music and find some songs I like in anything.
Absolutely.
So
this is the good area of the city too to be doing that. So
sure.
I mean, this is a great part. You're not close to Fountain, and I mean, it's a great part of the city to take some different kind of musics in, and you could probably do a couple different nights and get some different music a different night and do well. This place is huge. I really thought this was going to be when I thought it was just a little tiny place, and it would just open. And we pulled up, I was like, holy cow.
Yeah, it's a little deceiving from the street, too, because you just see, like, this flash of a building and then a parking lot. But once you get inside, it's really kind of spacious, especially with the garage doors and everything open.
And I know Feddersen made a point when I came in that it was kind of like, it seems like a place that'd be in San Diego or something. Yeah. And he's right, it does. It seems like something to be off the beach or something. Very cool place, very big. And I got very giddy because I've seen dogs.
Animal friendly.
Animal friendly really gets to me. So,
do they allow pigs?
We haven't had one yet, but if it's on a leash, we don't care. We've had some cats in here on a leash. We had bunnies one time in here on a leash.
We have a live pig. He's our mascot. We bring him with us to places that allow him to go, so he comes with us.
You need to bring him next time.
Yeah. We will. He's a good boy. He's a lot of fun. He's a little bit of a wild man, but he's fun. So.
Yeah, he's got personality. Yeah,
he does.
Yeah, a little bit.
The other thing that our listeners need to know, if you're at Metazoa and you're sitting outside on their patio, you get a very beautiful look of the Indianapolis skyline. Mm-hmm. It's very spacious. It's all picnic tables, so it's very beer garden-ish. It's very nice here. I mean, it's just very roomy, but there's still a lot of seating and stuff. So it's a great outdoor venue as well. If you're one of those people that really prefers to sit outside, you kind of get the best of both worlds when you come here.
Well, yeah, now's getting to be a better time where it's okay to kind of hang outside a little bit.
Picked a pretty good night to be out here.
Yeah, no doubt.
Oh, it couldn't have been a better night. I'm so glad the breeze has been amazing today. It's starting to feel like fall a little bit.
Yep, it's getting there.
Just completely switched, though, because, where we were out last weekend and it was 900 degrees and
we're hiding under
sweating for like 8 hours. I somehow still got a sunburn even though I was under the tent for like 6 out of the 7 hours we were there.
That was at the Dig-In festival.
Oh, it's always
It was
hot
rough.
that day for some reason.
Yeah, it
I
was
went
rough.
last year. I was just drenched.
I need to go 1 week later.
So I noticed there's a lot of people bringing in food. So I'm guessing you don't serve food here.
Not at the moment, no.
Okay, so but people can bring in their own,
Yes,
and
absolutely.
or do you have some partnerships with local restaurants where people
Food trucks
order
or
up
anything?
and come in?
Yeah, we try to have food trucks out here occasionally. Especially it's easier to get them here out on the weekends and everything.
Yeah.
We had Biscuits food truck out here last night. If you're familiar with the Biscuits and Broad Ripple that do the
Oh, yeah.
amazing Mexican food and
Yeah.
brunch. Yeah, they
Yep.
were out here last night. And then we also Cluster Truck delivers here. So we have Cluster Truck menus on a lot of the tables and everything. And if you're not familiar, it's an amazing service. It's a bunch of different kitchens basically that are serving out of one location. They've like gotten the recipes from like Brew Burgers on there, and then the mug out of Greenfield is on there. Some of their recipes and stuff are on there, and they basically make it, and then somebody delivers it to you either on a bike or in their car, kind of like Uber for your food.
Nice.
Yeah, and it honestly gets here faster than I hate to say it, Jimmy John's.
No
It
kidding.
gets here usually in 10 to 15 minutes,
That's crazy.
and it's so good. The food is really, really good.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So do you guys have any big events or festivals or anything coming up that you're going to be in soon?
Oh man, we have a lot of stuff coming down. We actually have our first wedding here that we're hosting next Saturday,
Really?
so that'll be fun.
Yeah.
Have the whole place closed out. We have some other festivals and stuff coming up. There's Noblesville Brew Fest that's coming up.
We will be there.
Yeah, we're going to be at that one now.
Yeah. And then, there's so many festivals, especially this time of year. It's hard to keep track. The Whitestown Brew Fest is coming up as
Oh,
well.
Yeah.
There is the French Market that we're going to have some beer at coming up. I believe that's also next Saturday. And then we'll also be at Hops and Harvest in Nashville, Brown County area at the Story Inn. They do a big wine
When's
and
that
beer.
one?
It's next Saturday,
Oh, really?
I believe.
That's one I actually haven't heard of.
Yeah.
And I thought I heard
Yeah,
of most of them.
And actually,
And-
if it's still nice like this, that'd be a good time to
Yeah,
go
and
down
you
there.
can. It's really cool. You can also take growlers and bullets and things like that out of there as well. So a lot of the breweries are taking those types of things, or canning and anything like that they have.
That'd be cool.
Yeah,
I
so a
don't know
lot of
about
stuff
you-
coming up.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm thirsty. We need
Yeah, I already got getting the
I got
second one.
8 beers in front of me.
All right, I dug into that barn burner.
I already sipped on my second one. I don't know where you done.
Well, I was kind of waiting to introduce them or whatever. But where are we at? Barn burner now?
Yes, it
Okay.
is a smoked saison.
I really like
It's
this.
one of my favorites
This
right
is
now.
Really, really nice.
Are you allowed to say smoked with what?
I am not actually
Oh, okay.
sure.
Sometimes it's secret.
That smoke
sometimes
flavor
it all
is
depends.
really really good.
It is, but it's real. It's light. It's real light, smoky flavor.
It's
but
subtle, but it's still
It's just
there.
enough to carry. It's really good.
It's not bad. It's
So they're using some funky yeast in it, and they're
got the
they're
a
smoking it
little
with
cloudy.
something.
It's a little
That's
but
delicious.
I like it. Yeah, no.
Oh, and also for events, I forgot to mention we do trivia every Tuesday.
Very
and
nice.
switch up the themes and everything. And those have been a pretty big hit. We had Friends Trivia a few weeks back, and you could not move inside.
Trivia is huge right now all over.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
there's a bunch of the other ones are doing it. I mean, then there's some national ones too. Like it's like Pub Geeks or
Yeah.
something does one, but they're doing it like nationally.
Yeah.
Yeah,
At a
they
few
rotate
places.
around to
Yeah,
the
and
different
rotate
places.
around different places. Like, jeez.
But it's cool. It makes
like
it
the
fun.
themed ones.
It gives it that social aspect when you're at a pub that you're still
Yeah.
interacting with other people, people you don't know. So it
Right.
is a cool event.
Yeah, I like the themed ones though, at least. So you
Yeah.
kind of got at least some kind of focus on what the night's going to be about.
So you can study up a little bit.
A little bit. So I've been to some ones way back when, and some of the questions coming out were just like, really? Come on,
I
man.
know I've been to a
Really?
few. I've been to a few where I maybe knew one or two questions
Yeah.
the whole entire time,
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
felt
I don't
like
wanna,
an idiot.
Yeah, I don't want to. Yeah, I don't want to go to trivia and feel like a complete idiot.
The last time I was at DJ Bingo at Claude's, he said it's it's I think it was reggae. No, it was hip hop and rap nights. Like, I'm out. See you guys.
Yeah, I got nothing here. I got nothing for you.
I probably
get
could have
back-
got some of those.
Probably yeah.
Well, yeah, you could have. Probably I could have too. If it was mainly it was 90s and stuff, hip hop kind of
Yeah.
stuff too, though.
Now, give me a little bit about the history of Metazoa. Where about the owners, the brewers? Where did they come from? Or how what went into April 1st that kickoff?
Yeah, so we kind of started getting everything together. The brewer our head brewer was hired and everything last February, so it's been it was in the works for a little over a year. And even way before that, the owner, he had been wanting to open a brewery for a while. He and the one of his partners actually opened up brewery tours of Indianapolis. Some of the brew buses that you see going around, everything that do the tours. And they kind of got an itch for the craft beer world after they opened that and had that going for a few years. So they're like, well, next up, open a brewery. And
so they weren't brewing themselves, but
the owner, Dave Worthington, he was actually a home brewer for a while. So he knew a little bit about it and played around with it and everything. And then our head brewer, Aaron Kerner, actually started out just kind of volunteering and helping out and learning the trade at Oak and Barrel a little bit. And then he moved out to Oregon and was a head brewer at, I believe, Bunsen Burner out there. It was a smaller brewery. And then he was also he was at a winery as well and worked there and did some wine.
Yeah, it's a good place to be to cut your teeth and brewing.
Oh, absolutely. So he was out there for a while, and he saw the ad and he wanted to come back to the Midwest 'cause that's where his family was, and it just kind of worked out. And so he and then our two other brewers, Zach and Tori, have kind of helped sculpt the way our beers are and are presented and everything. So they like to do it. Aaron loves doing all the English style stuff, so he's big into those.
I've seen a couple of those on the site, so I was like, okay, someone's digging the English over there.
Yeah, he loves the English styles.
And it seemed like he kind of tends to stick to more of the classic, the way they're supposed to be, because they get nuts with them now, obviously, with everything. But like you said before, it sounds like they really want to stay true to the classic forms of the beers.
Absolutely, and Jackaroo, our dark mild, which is number
4
on your paddles there, that's a perfect example of him kind of staying true to style of what a dark mild is. And he was in England for a little bit as well and kind of fell in love with the way they do their beer and everything. So I think that speaks a lot in that beer.
So the funny thing about us is we started the show as kind of a garage show because we loved craft beer, and then we started going out to breweries, and then breweries started asking us to come out, and then we started going to festivals, and then the number one question we always got is, why don't you brew beer? And we thought, we're kind of dumb. Why aren't we brewing beer? It would help us understand the lingo. It would help us understand what's going on. So, sure enough, 3 months ago, we started brewing our own beer. So,
nice.
We are home brewers, and it helps us become better beer connoisseurs.
Oh, sure.
And it also helps us when we get brewers on that are very serious about their craft, which a lot of them are, and we love that.
Yeah.
To be able to understand and talk back to them on that kind of a level, because it is almost a whole different language when it comes to brewing.
I know just the smidgen, it's a smidgen about it, because I took a Beers of the World class when I was at IUPUI. Kind of what made me fall in love with the craft beer scene and end up here eventually. And so, it kind of went through the history and a little bit of the science behind it and the different styles and everything. So I have a little bit of knowledge, but sometimes when they go into detail, I'm like, I have no idea what you're saying. It's
Tastes
a completely different language.
Now they got a whole new certificate. I'm actually kind of looking at some of that too. They got a whole new certificate course or whatever at IUPUI that's like 1 day a week for 7 weeks. And
Masters in Beer Appreciation.
It's brewery operations or something like that.
Yeah, that's given by my teacher, Ron Smith, that I had. He is
yep.
He's a master level beer judge and a great guy to learn from, and he makes it so much fun.
I don't think we've been to a place where Ron isn't mentioned. I just mentioned it on our site the other day. I was like, this guy's mentioned everywhere we go because he's the god of beer and
he
around
really
the place,
is.
and we need to get him on the show soon. But
wasn't he friends with Tom England?
He's friends with everybody.
He's friends with everybody.
Yeah.
I'll get in touch with him.
We
gotta get him on the show.
The nicest guy, and he's so knowledgeable.
Yeah.
He actually makes the stuff that sounds so far out and sciencey and everything. He really breaks it down and is able to explain it to you on a level that you can kind of understand. And
he's getting ready to teach a great course coming up here, I think in October, I believe.
Yeah, and he also does the study groups for getting master level beer judge certified as well. He does some of those as well.
That's pretty cool. So have you guys had the chance to enter any of the competitions yet?
Oh, we have. Our Jackaroo that I had mentioned, the Dark Mild, won a silver medal at the North American Beer Awards.
Okay.
Yeah, and then one of our other beers won a gold medal at the Indiana Brewers Cup. That was at the State Fair, I believe, back in July.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So you guys, would you say a silver and then what else?
And it was a gold. And it was for a beer we don't have on tap right now. It was called Anonymous Lemur.
But if you guys went out and you're only 6 months old and you won a gold medal, that's pretty good. That's really good.
I'm sorry, it wasn't a gold. It was a bronze.
Okay.
Sorry.
Well, silver and bronze, that's still really good. You won a medal.
You're in the top 3.
Especially being so young, that's
absolutely good. So far, your beers have been all really solid. I mean, really good. I can't say anything negative at all, actually. which is good. So.
Yeah, they do a great job, but of course I'm a little biased. So.
Right, and we try to be fair and honest in everything we do. That's part of helping the craft beer community, or helping them grow or whatever. We just there's been a couple breweries we've been like, not for me. I can't do it.
Sure,
so.
You can appreciate the beer, but it might not be your
right. Exactly, but so far I've liked all of them. So.
Yeah.
What else has Metazoa got going on?
They're gearing up for the fall beer craze that's about to hit us here soon.
That's what I was getting ready to ask.
Yeah.
This is our favorite time of year.
Where's the pumpkin beer coming in?
See, I think I am, aside from every other person in the world, I am not a huge pumpkin beer fan.
No. I'm not gearing up for the pumpkin beer. I'm gearing up for fall and porters and the stouts.
There you go.
There you go.
Now,
Okay.
we do a pumpkin hunt because you have everybody does them, so you have to. We do a hunt for the best pumpkin of the season, and we've actually found a very good one already, but they're few and far between because I'm not a big pumpkin beer fan. Usually they're too sweet for me.
Are you guys doing? Do you have one on deck?
I think we you kind of have to almost.
It's
now, expected.
Yeah.
But I'm sure they're going to put a twist on everything that even is kind of expected anymore.
Sure.
Yeah.
They kind of try to put a twist on it and make it a little bit more different. So I'm interested to see what the pumpkin beer comes out to be, and I might actually like it because honestly, before I came here, I absolutely did not like IPAs.
Mm-hmm.
And I have had a few of their IPAs, and I'm like, okay, I may not be able to drink a full pint of this, but I can do a little half pint because, it might knock me on my socks with the hops, but I like them a lot better. We actually have one coming down the line here soon. It's a jalapeno IPA.
Ooh.
Tasted it yesterday. It was amazing. And like I said, not a huge IPA person, and it was really, really good.
When's that coming out?
It should be ready here in the next couple weeks.
Okay, we'll be back.
Yeah.
So speaking of IPAs, some like it hopped. That's the one we're on now.
Yes, it is actually a wet hopped blonde, and I did give you a nice big IPA in there too. It's at the end though, so your palate wouldn't be ruined for everything else.
Right. Now I was going to say this says it's something like a hop, so I assumed it was an IPA. That was my bad. I should not have assumed that.
No, it's fine.
It was delicious. It was so
well
balanced.
That's what I'm drinking in full size over here.
It was so well balanced. I mean, you could taste the hops, but they didn't punch me in the face and knock me over.
Right. And that's actually used with hops from Happy Hills Farms, which are here in Indiana.
Nice.
So that's kind of cool. It was a more of a local partnership and part of the the bicentennial thing that they're doing right now with all the different beers made from Indiana hops. So it was kind of cool to get to do that and everything and team up with a hop farmer in Indiana because there aren't that many.
No, not at all.
Because it's a little difficult to grow hops in Indiana.
Yeah,
we've got a few breweries
more, though.
we've got a few breweries trying to do their own, even and even in the backyard for a small batches, obviously for their small batch stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I see a lot of breweries growing their own hops outside their own breweries. Yeah, exactly. Brendan, what do you feel about the Some Like It Hopped?
I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't a huge fan, but that's not my style of beer.
Yeah,
it was a blonde, but it was good. It was clean and. Again, if I
was
a
too
fan
light
of that,
for you.
Yeah, it was too light for me. I'm not a big fan, but it was good beer.
Hey,
I'm definitely not going to say anything bad about the beer. It was delicious. That's not my style.
Yeah, and same thing with me. And when we hit the IPA, at some point, IPA not my style. It's, as everybody's heard on the show before, I'm on the extreme ends. I'm the sour, and then the stout guy.
I'm there with you.
Both ends. Most of us are stout guys.
I think the entire crew is stout guys.
Pretty much.
Then we all kind of have our own little
we're all
categories from there.
We are all kind of stout, and then we like stout beers too.
Exactly.
It was
definitely a very clean, crisp beer. You get the flavors were there, just not my style.
Yeah. I liked it. It was a little lighter. To me, that would be definitely one of my favorite summer beers, though. I would go out and drink that.
It's a great summer beer.
Yeah. I would love to have had that on Sunday at Dig In because I could have drank a lot of those and been okay with it.
Oh, I'd swim in a bathtub of that Saison, that smoked Saison.
What's the Jackaroo?
That is the dark mild that I was talking about.
Very classic,
true to English style.
Which is probably I don't have a lot of frame of reference on that just because when growing up, at least all my parents always had was German beers. We lived in Germany for a while and we came, so everything was all German.
Sure.
Yeah.
So there wasn't a lot of dark.
Right.
This was cask, wasn't it?
That was actually on regular CO2.
Was it? Okay.
Really? It has been sitting. It's been sitting for a little bit, so it might be bringing out a few of the roasty or toasty notes.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, which you need. You can't. It's like serving red wine. You can't serve red wine ice cold or anything because it just doesn't do anything. You got to let it warm up a little bit on some of these ones, especially the cask ones are great.
Yeah, and we're used to that because a lot of the stouts we drink, we prefer to let them warm up a little bit too.
Yeah,
stouts are usually better, not room temperature, but not ice cold either. So,
this is Jerry with Beer Brewery. You're listening to that great show, The Blind Pig Confessions.
So what's your favorite beer here that they've got right now?
Oh, that's the hardest question I get asked all the time. It varies and it fluctuates all the time. Right now, of course, I'm in the mood for something lighter and everything like that. But I had two pints of Jackaroo when I was doing trivia the other night, so it just kind of hits me, and it's just really whatever I'm in the mood for that day. It's like changing your outfit.
It depends on the weather. Yeah, it does. It really does.
It does, yeah. But we have to ask that. I mean, when you
of
work
course.
At the brewery.
But the beauty part about all this is there are those choices now.
Yeah.
Whereas before it was, all right, you want Miller Lite, Bud Light, or Guinness, depending on your feelings. That's all you had, and maybe a red here and there, but nothing was useful. It really didn't really get much 10 years ago. 10, 15, yeah.
One of my favorite styles of beer is a Hefeweizen, and we've done it on the small system, and it just sells out within a day, and I can not even get any of it, so it makes me sad. And it's called Walk in the Park, which I think is really cute. But I keep trying to get them to make it on the big system, and they haven't yet. But so that's one of my favorites that they do brew. And we had one on opening night that was a saison, and we had brewed it for Open Society, the restaurant that opened up in Broad Ripple, and it was amazing. It was really good.
So far, one of my favorite Hefeweizens comes from Beer Brewery. Their Weizengut.
I don't think I've had that one yet.
You need to have it if you're a Hefe fan. It's a solid Hefeweizen. It's really good. And they sell it in cans, so you can actually get it at the liquor stores and everything now too. So
sold.
Do you do any tap takeovers, or
we've done some?
Are you starting to do any collabs with anybody to brew up a collab?
Yeah,
beer?
we have been in the talks with a few different breweries about doing some collab beers. So that's exciting. Our head brewer Aaron is friends with quite a few of the other brewers because he was in the scene before he went out to Oregon. So and that's so awesome about the brewing community.
Yeah.
Everybody is so supportive, and they're just all friends, which makes working in the brewery scene amazing because everybody's just friendly. It's not like normal hardcore competition and everything like that. So hopefully some collabs coming up down the line here soon.
Well, that's awesome.
And that's part of the reason why we got into this too, is because, like you said, the craft beer scene is it's almost like a family.
It really is.
We just started going to breweries, and then more breweries wanted us there, and then before we know it, we're at the festivals with all of them. And now we know most of them, and it's a great feeling. I walk in almost a lot of the breweries, especially up north, and I know who they are. I know who the brewer is. I know who the owner is.
Absolutely.
And they're like, "Oh, Jordan, you're here. Come on over here, man. Hey, we just put this out. Try this. What do you think about?" And it's an awesome feeling.
And it's unique to Indy. I haven't seen as many close-knit brewing families like I do in Indy. I've been all over the place drinking craft beer for many years, and I was in one city up north not too long ago. It was last summer. We had asked them where to go next and see, where are the good, because there's a whole bunch of breweries that are popping up in this place. I'm not going to say where it's at, and the guy the guy said, well, don't go here.
Oh,
go to this place. My buddy works over here. And one of the places he said not to go to is where we're going to next anyway. I said, well, I'm still going there because that's why we came here in the first place. And we went there, and I was like, holy crap. It was one of the most amazing breweries I've ever been to. It was just funny that there was that competition level there that it was like, nope, don't go there, those guys suck. And you don't see that here at all. It's so cool
amazing,
the way everybody gets together, and everybody knows
everybody. And it's really neat because I feel like even though there are so many breweries downtown anymore, I feel like everybody kind of has their own little niche of where they fit in.
All the breweries have their own little niche, but I think when you do, especially with collaboration stuff, it makes you a stronger brewer to be
you learn from the other brewers.
Yeah, of course you do.
It's a constant learning.
Yeah.
We talked before the show, and you guys don't distribute yet, correct? You are just in-house at the moment.
We're self-distributing a little bit right now.
A little bit, okay.
I think we just reached 100 accounts a couple weeks ago that we've had our beer in. Downtown, Broad Ripple, Carmel, Northside, everything like that. So, yeah.
Awesome. So we can get your beer hopefully up close to Fisher's here soon.
Yes, we've had a few in Fisher's, I do believe, but those, it's hard to almost keep a running list because they rotate so much, which as they should, because they want to serve their customer base right, and they want to keep it fresh for their customers that come in. They don't want to have the same beer on tap all the time.
Sure.
Yeah.
And especially with the season changing and everything. So
for the working crowd, sometimes it's hard to be able to go out and go to the breweries like we do. We take the time out of our schedule to go to the breweries and talk to you guys. Some people, they want to, like, man, I wish I could taste Metazoa. I can't make it down there. So they go to their local craft beer bar hoping that eventually they're going to see you on their tap.
Yeah.
And I think that's what a lot of working people do. They get excited when they go in to that craft bar and they say, ooh, who do we have today? I've had beer, I've had this, I've had this, I've had this. Oh, Metazoa, I haven't had them. They get excited because they're like, ooh, a new brewery, a new beer.
Yeah.
And I see that at a lot of the craft beer bars.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's why there's no scary out of that bubble burst. Everyone says the bubble's going to burst, but it's not even close. I mean, there's more breweries popping up, more good breweries popping up, and there's more people. There's more and more people enjoying beer. You're getting more people into the beer scene. I mean, it's just amazing.
The only thing I think we're going to see is the big boys, the macros, are going to start to get a little bit more afraid because the micros are really growing and they're banding together. The more they band together and the more people get into the craft beer scene, obviously the less the macros are going to sell.
Scared. I mean, we've seen the tactics they've been using the last few years, and it's not working. And so now
the
it's
Super Bowl
either
commercials.
Yeah, it's awful.
But
it makes me want to drink them less.
You know, and it is. It's backfiring on them. And it's not working. So they're going to have to either join or run because
I think some people are always going to like the macros no matter what you do. So
right.
I think that they should just kind of embrace it that people are going for different things and
the same reason Boone's Farm is still around. People don't really like. Not everybody always likes a good red wine or good white wine, but they'll go with the Mad Dog 2020 or the or the Boone's Farm. There's always that end.
One of the funny things for us is, now that we've been doing this for so long and we've got a lot of people out there listening, we have people come up to us and they'll be like, I'm a Miller Lite drinker, I'm a Bud Light drinker. What would I like in the craft beer scene?
Sure.
And we'll be like, hey, come with us. Let's go to the bar.
Yeah.
We'll find something you're going to like. I promise you there is a beer up there that's craft that you're going to like. And usually once they get into it and they taste it, they're like, holy crap, why was I drinking that before?
Right, and that's one of my favorite things about working here because, I'll get events and everything in here that, a lot of them aren't necessarily beer drinkers. They're maybe more of the wine crowd or anything, but I just had one in last week that the organizer came up and told me, she's like, I had a lot of people here that only drink wine and they tried the beer and they said they loved it. That's one of my favorite things to hear because, a lot of our beers are so approachable and, balanced and everything that I think it's great to get people into the craft beer scene that are normally like, oh, no, I'm not a beer person.
Once you go craft, you never go back.
And I'm just right in tune with that.
What'd you grab?
Was it Forest?
The Forest? Yeah, that
Forest
was really
Candies.
Forest can yes.
That is our Belgian Golden Strong.
It's a
good.
beautiful, beautiful beer, and I think one that's light enough, but it's got enough flavor that you could get people that don't regularly drink beer. Mm-hmm. It's got you can taste kind of it's got a wine taste to it.
Floralness to it.
It's got that floor, yeah. I mean, so it's a beer that someone that drinks wine would go, okay, that's pretty good. It's delicious, actually.
It's brewed with rock sugar.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
It's going to add a different one to it. I get a weird bitter. There's bitter on the front, right at the tip of my tongue, but it's almost like it's trying to tell me there's like an IPA hop, but it's in the wrong place in my tongue. And so I think this would actually be a nice kind of transition if you're trying to get someone to learn, like do one of these, then maybe go up to the IPA and get that kind of that contrast a little bit of, hey, there's something on the front that's different.
Well, that's why I said wine.
Back.
A wine drinker or somebody that likes flavor, a red wine drinker that likes a lot of flavor, but yes, it's a beer and it's still got a beautiful floral flavor to it.
What's the ABV on that? Because it feels like it feels dry, so it feels a little higher. But I could be wrong.
Put me on the spot.
Oh no,
I think is it 9? It's 8 or 9.
Okay, then I was correct.
Yeah,
that's where the dryness was coming from.
Mm-hmm.
Because if it was a 5, I was going to feel embarrassed.
Oh no, it's served in a smaller glass for sure.
Not full pints.
Not full pints.
And like earlier, Brendan, when we were talking about something like a hop, you said it was a little too light for you and stuff. But that would be a perfect beer to get a macro light drinker into craft beer.
Absolutely,
that's what that kind of beer is absolutely for.
That would service a lot of different flavors and tastes that light beer drinker or a wine drinker, I think, because it's got kind of the best of both worlds. It's still light, but it's full of flavor and it's delicious.
This would actually be a good transition for someone even like who handles like Stella or something like that.
Oh yeah,
that's what that's here you try something other than the macro Stella and you'll
Can you see what our ploy here is? That we're always trying to figure out ways to get people to drink craft beer.
Oh yeah,
that's what we do.
We actually have what we call Metazoa Light. And it is a very, very light beer, reminiscent of, your Bud Light or your Miller Lite or something like that, but kind of the craft beer version.
Now we're going to get a cease and desist.
And it's actually, I think it's really, really good. It's super light and everything, and we like to call it our gateway beer to get people into the craft beer world.
And I think that's awesome. And I think it's funny you didn't bring that one out to us because I think you already knew that we probably were.
No, I figured I'd mention it, but I wasn't going to give it to you guys.
I think it's funny because even there's been a few breweries around who try to either sometimes they're trying to make something that's either a joke against the big guys, like some of our friends over like Big Lug or something, and a couple others. They try to do something that's they're in that genre of it, trying to get them moved over, but also still kind of a macro, guys. So I don't know why I censored myself on that one. It is a 21 and over show.
And we couldn't see the bird, so.
Yeah, well, there were a bunch of people. There's a bunch of people around us. There's a giant inflatable movie screen behind Jordan's head right now, and I'm not sure what's going on.
I thought maybe you were afraid they were going to see it and come over and threaten you or something.
Exactly.
I wasn't sure what was going on. But
I'm a little concerned to just flipping the bird randomly everywhere because there's all these kinds of people. I'm kind of worried for that movie screen thing over there.
It's a little windy.
A little windy out.
So the Rogan's Heroes is where we're at now.
Yes.
Rogan.
Tell us about that one.
It is the chocolate banana. The first time we did it, it was a little bit more banana-y, but it's much more, the chocolate's a little bit more overpowering. And that was, which is not a bad thing in my book, by all means. And that was on nitro. So that's why it's a little bit creamier and smoother.
It's got some complexness, some complexity to it.
There you go. Because if you said complexness, I was going to have to.
I got like more banana out of that forest.
The smell's deceiving. I kind of smell almost like a coffee scent to it when I smell it.
And it's warmed up a little bit, so it's probably released a little bit more of those.
But then when I taste
aromatics.
it, I get more of the banana, a little bit of chocolate on it, like a dark chocolate though, a heavy chocolate in it.
The banana esters come out a little bit.
All of a sudden, it's turned into a thunderstorm or a tornado out here.
Oh, it's
without a cloud above us at all. The wind's just deciding to roll through our microphones right now. I'm gonna be like Brandon on that. Not my cup of tea. It's not bad. It's drinkable. Just not on my palate at all. So
it's different to me. It's complex, and I think I would have to have more of it to actually make an honest opinion of it. I don't think it's bad. I'm curious about it. I think I'd have to sit there and taste
it's one of those you need a few sips to be like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's what that taste is.
Yeah. So, but other than that, it was definitely good. So we got a couple more beers here, guys, because we got to kind of wrap this up here, this episode. Let's go on into number 7 here and try number 7.
I believe that is your Coco Panthera, which is brewed with... Yes, it is brewed with endangered species chocolate. So it's a little bit of a partnership that we have with them.
His face was priceless. It was brewed with endangered species is all he heard.
So endangered species.
Well, I was going to, because it kind of goes against your whole let's help the animals thing.
If you're not familiar with the company, they don't brew chocolate. They make chocolate, and then they do a portion of their proceeds go back to different endangered species funds.
Okay, so the chocolate's not endangered. It's not like a limited edition chocolate that they can't grow anywhere else, and it's going extinct or something.
No, each of their chocolate bars features a different animal, and it's actually kind of cool. On the inside of the packaging, it gives you some facts about the animals and different things like that. And each year, every 3 years, they partner with different organizations and give back to them, which is really cool. So, it's kind of a like-minded partnership and everything, a couple different places that are having the same mission. So
I was just getting worried. Your rhinos your rhino things are disappearing. You're working with it. You're brewing endangered species into your beer.
And it's 88% dark chocolate. So when you made that face, that's what that was.
Oh, that was not actually a bad face. I was like,
it was more laughing at me, I think. But
it's definitely hit you in the face chocolate, but I like it. It's delicious.
Like, wow,
and it's an imperial stout.
That was actually my happy face. Sometimes it's hard to tell the difference, but that was
Oh no, that's awesome.
I like it.
You said this is on Nitro?
That is not on Nitro.
That should be on Nitro.
I think that should be on a bourbon cask. That's delicious.
But that too.
Yeah,
there you go.
And I'm sorry, I didn't bring you the piece of chocolate that you usually get when you order it full size.
You don't need one. That's a blast of chocolate.
I'm watching my figure.
I'm not gonna lie,
that's awesome.
Amazing beer.
I didn't really know.
55 pounds of 88% dark chocolate went into that.
And 88%.
I was gonna gain 55 pounds after
for
drinking.
What? For how big a brew batch though?
We have a 10-barrel system, so that pumps out between 15 to 20 half barrels.
Yeah.
Still a lot of chocolate for that.
And 88% cocoa in a chocolate is dark
It's dark chocolate.
chocolate. Yeah,
I
that's
really think this would be
extraordinarily dark.
awesome with nitro.
Yeah.
on it. I think it'd give it an
bring out the
awesome
creamy
mouth.
flavor.
Oh,
I actually agree with both of you. Nitro or in
Either
a
or.
whiskey cask would
Yeah.
be phenomenal. I mean, or by itself is phenomenal.
Yeah, it's just something you could
That's
do.
a good
I just
base.
keep staring at it.
I think you could put a small bit of heat on this too, with a pepper
yeah.
somewhere.
With
Just
ghost
a
pepper?
light pepper, like maybe a ghost, or even just something a minor little pepper. Not jalapeno. I don't think jalapeno would
No,
work with it.
the green
it
wouldn't
tastes
taste
more
right,
like
no.
green chilies.
Yeah.
But something a little red. Or
A ghost would be good because it adds the smoke to it.
It seems like an awesome base beer to then now start.
I will have to pass that information
getting
along.
freaky with on the
A scorpion
really
or a
is.
ghost?
Well, there we've got a blind pig Metazoa collaboration we can do.
There we
go.
You guys
Yeah.
can help us name the beer and everything.
I'm
That's
in love with this beer.
That's one I could drink a couple of, especially coming up in the fall.
Oh yeah, it's very warming.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
coming back, if nothing else, just for this beer.
Yeah. I think there's a couple growlers still in the car. And you guys do growlers? Or
We
not?
do.
You know,
Yep.
Okay.
So we're to our last beer because we gotta finish this up. But
That is your hop-a-doodle-doo.
Oh, here's the.
I'm afraid of it now that I just had that delicious chocolate beer.
Yeah.
I may have to have a pint of that
That's
chocolate
gonna
one
be
after
that's
this.
gonna be a hell of a contrast there on that dark chocolate beer.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna have to give it a couple sips to.
I should have brought you guys some water.
Wait your turn.
Actually, you'll be pleasantly surprised. It's very, very, very well balanced.
149 IBUs too.
No way.
What?
really?
That's incredible. I wouldn't put it much past
Although
75, 80.
I have
No,
heard-
and I don't know if just the chocolate from that cup before is cutting into that, but there's no way I would guess that. Yeah, not even close.
I think our brewers
You
are
got some
magicians
delicious-
sometimes
You
with
got
the
some
IBUs.
Citra in there, don't you?
Oh yeah. Yeah,
Sure.
there's some Citra in there.
I can taste it in the center. You get like right in the middle. You get like that Citra hit,
Yeah, I taste citrus in there.
and then
Definitely.
then it kind of drops back down to the regular hop kind of.
very, very good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm gonna
that's-
go with
that's good.
Not mine, but I'm not an IPA guy. I'm
Again,
never. It's no
I'm
insult.
not either,
no
but when it's
insult
good,
to
it's
him at
good.
all.
They're not
Just
going to
not
take.
the IPA guy.
I'm not an IPA guy either, but when it's good, it's good. And this is very
That's great.
good.
And that's
Very
one of
well
those
balanced.
that's only going to be on for a little bit. So if you
And
like it,
And I'm sure, Pat, they understand that if you don't like 1 or 2 out of 8 beers, just
That's-
because of
that's
your
a
own
pretty
palate,
good margin.
that's a pretty good. That's
Well,
good.
yeah, well, we always feel. I'm always a little awkward on these shows because you guys are having us come out. You're letting us drink some beers and all that. Well, as doing that, you're always a little bit afraid to say.
Well, no, I mean,
I'm not.
everybody has
bad.
a different palate. Everybody has different
No, I don't
flavors of
think
beer
so.
they like.
It's-
If they said, okay, this is the one beer we make,
Yeah,
do you like it?
I mean, it's obvious that I'm not going there. It doesn't taste like butter. It
Right.
doesn't. There's no Band-Aids on it. So, there's no
Right.
Band-Aid taste on it. Now,
doesn't
if that
have
were
the
happening,
green apple.
right,
Right.
exactly. So,
Yeah,
it's now those I'm a little more cautious to call out those other than just nope. And let's move
Sure.
on.
I think he's making fun of me because I don't
He doesn't
care.
Well, after 4, 5 flights, you don't care at all.
Nope.
It's one of those things where you can not like the style of beer but appreciate it. That's kind of how I
Exactly.
am with
That's
certain
the same
music
with the
and
blonde.
everything. I don't like it. It's not my cup of tea, but I appreciate
good.
the music, you know?
Yeah, and I can appreciate the craft that went into it, and I appreciate it that the palates are so diverse.
And that's the
And
other
that's
thing.
fine, just not mine. Yeah,
And I'm
just
usually not an
mine
IPA
at
guy
all.
myself, but this is so well balanced that,
That's good.
and I love Citra hops. That's one hop I do love, and I can taste
You
it.
do
It's
for
like
some reason. I'm a little
taste the
concerned about
sweet-
what you do with the Citra hops in your own time.
I could probably eat them. I love Citra hops, but I taste like the sweet maltiness. Then I get the hit of Citra hops, and then it finishes a little bit bitter, but not a bad bitter, like almost like a palate cleansing bitter.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason, I picture him like using it as a deodorant, kind of. Just look.
Hey, you don't
Just,
worry about what I do with the
open-
hops in my own
opening
time.
the bag of hops and just taking a deep.
Oh, yeah.
No,
Yeah.
no, officer, that's not oregano. That's hops. He keeps a bag in his car just to fool with the cops.
We've used the Citra hops in our own brewery.
Yeah, we
I
have.
love it.
Yeah, I know.
So-
You love the
I-
Citra hop.
I would call this a good morning beer. I'm sorry.
Absolutely.
Everything's a good morning beer in my book, honestly.
So, Haley, we want to thank you again for letting us come out here and talk to
Oh,
you.
absolutely. Thank you guys
Um,
for coming out and having me on.
We appreciate it, and we love the place. I mean, it's great.
Yeah, it's amazing.
This isn't the last you've seen of us. We're going to be back.
Good.
We're going to bug you. We're going to come in here. We're going to hang out.
We're gonna bring a pig.
We're going to bring the pig.
I will make sure our social media queen is here when that pig is here.
Yes.
She
It'll
will
be
freak
awesome.
out.
Okay, we're bringing Hamilton back. That's for sure.
Hamilton will love it. He loves attention. You know, anybody who loves animals can pet him. And
You got any small
he'll
towels?
just
You got any
loves
like
it.
small towels with Metazoa on it? We'll just kind of drape it over him.
No, but we're working on getting some dog bandanas, so I think he would
hell
look
yeah.
awfully dapper
Oh,
in
yeah.
a little dog bandana.
he would like
Yep.
that, yes. Well, I don't know if he'd like it, but he would tolerate that.
We're still trying to figure out how to get him to wear sunglasses and a top hat. It's just not working yet.
Did you put a little strap on the top hat?
Stogie.
We could.
Boy, but just trying to get that pig in his harness is a gigantic.
feat in itself,
Oh
I'm
my
sure.
goodness! Does he still scream, Jordan, like bloody
Not
murder?
as bad as he did. If I pick him up, I have about a 10-second window before he screams, whereas before it was instantaneous. So we're making progress.
Well, I tried to be the one always picking him up so he'd scream and not hate his dad and just hate Uncle Patrick. We'll be back. We'll be back definitely. You know,
Oh, yeah.
and having fun over here at Metazoa. And
And we'll I don't know when this episode's coming out, so this may be after the fact, but if this episode comes out after, then either we'll see you at Noblesville Brewfest, or hey, it was good to see you again at Noblesville Brewfest.
Works for us.
All right.
thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Thanks, Charlie.
As ever a mortal knew, King Alcohol is very sly, a liar from the first. He'll make you drink until you're dry, then drink because you thirst. For there's rum
and gin
and beer
and wine
and brandy of logwood hue
and hock
and port
and flip combined
to make a man look blue.
He says be merry
For his good sherry
and Tom and Jerry, champagne and perry
and spirits of every hue. Oh, one of these a fiendish crew as ever a mortal knew. Oh, one of these a fiendish crew as ever a mortal knew. King Alcohol has had his day, his kingdom's crumbling fast. His votaries are heard to say our tumbling days are past.
For there's no rum,
No gin,
nor beer, no wine,
no brandy of any hue,
no hock,
no port
nor flip combined
to make a man get blue.
And now they're merry
Without the sherry
or Tom and Jerry, champagne and perry
or spirits of every hue. And now they are a temperate crew as ever a mortal knew. And now they are a temperate crew and have given the devil his due.